Hey everybody, it's your boy Captain Hunter. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you do me a favor, hit that rate, subscribe, share button, hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments section. Let's get the conversation going. Just came across this story the other day. Well, actually, no, somebody sent me this story this morning as I record this, just from a couple days ago. As you can see, I guess it was a controversial, or trying to make it a controversial shooting that took place in the Buckhead section of Atlanta. I am not familiar with Atlanta. I've never been to the city. I plan to go, but I just never made it there. So I don't know where Buckhead is. However, we are going to delve into the story here. So they sent me a story on Instagram, and I was going to play it, but I'd have to do too much editing out of the full entire video. It is on Instagram and probably other places as well. You guys can check it out. But this video blurs everything out. One of the last videos that I broke down, they end up giving me a warning, and I didn't really want that again. So they just made it for adult content. That's all it is. So because I showed a lot of detail and all that. So I'm not going to do that now, but the full video, unedited, if you care to see that type of thing, is on Instagram. So here is a still shot of the young man who is going to be deceased. Name is Nygil Cullins. There you can see there's something going on in Milton involved in a Walmart parking lot shooting right now. This is an alert, breaking news here. Get rid of that. I'm obviously getting this from Fox 5. So this is them. So as you can see right here, they got a still image of the gun here. So we'll walk through the video. There's going to be some talking on it. If you want the full unedited, just watch the video. It is on Instagram. Yeah, I'm not going to play it because I don't want that. It wasn't a strike, but let's watch it.
The family of Nygil Cullins speaking out for the first time after the release of camera footage of the moment he was shot and killed by Atlanta police in 2022. Fox 5's Kim Loeffler was there. And Kim, how are they reacting this morning?
Well, Nygil Cullins' family has been fighting for the last 2 years to get this video released, saying they believe the tape will clear his name. Now, his parents were emotional speaking with all of us this morning, saying this was their first time seeing the full video of the final moments of their son's life.
Didn't deserve it.
He didn't deserve it. He did not deserve it.
Nygil Cullins' family holding back tears, describing the moment they first saw all of the footage from Atlanta police of the night an officer shot their son.
All I keep seeing in my head is his hands up, afraid, and running for his life.
In the video, you can see Cullins at the bar of Fogo de Chao in Buckhead on May 18th of 2022, where he used to work. At one point, Cullins grabs a bottle of liquor from the bar.
We have a guy here with a gun, and he's acting very, very weird. He did not point the gun, but he's yelling at everybody.
26 minutes after the initial 911 call, officers responded. You can see where APD edited the video with a red circle emphasizing Cullins with the gun. The video shows officers deploy a taser on Cullins. He runs and grabs what police say is that gun. When a security guard tackles him, police say Cullins shot and wounded the guard.
You see him tackle, you see the gun discharge, you don't see who discharged it.
We froze the video here, but you can hear the moments police then opened fire.
It's disgusting that they will sit and paint a picture that's still not true. A lot of the things in their initial narrative does not equate to what we saw.
Last month, the Cullins family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city, restaurant, and others for Nygil's death. His mother says he suffered from mental health issues and had a facility for him to get help, but transport they arranged for that night showed up too late.
How did we get to the point where he's being tased when he didn't do anything wrong, and now he's scared and he believes he's running for his life?
Now, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office will be the one to determine if charges will be filed in this case. We did confirm with the Atlanta Police Department the officers involved with this incident are still active employees with the Atlanta Police Department. Live this afternoon in Buckhead, Kim Loeffler, Fox 5 News.
Some really dramatic.
All right, I said I wasn't going to play it, but I am going to play it. So we're going to walk through it here, and I want you to listen for the first shot after the chase. That will be allegedly the suspect here who's going to shoot. Yeah, so it's going to be it's going to be him. The first shot we're going to hear is going to be a shot, and then we're going to hear a barrage of firings after that. So the first shot, I would imagine, is Mr. Nygil Cullins shooting his firearm, hitting the security guard, and then the barrage of shots by the officer to defend the security guard's life, and all that. So so here we go.
All right. Go. Stop! Put down the gun! Go! 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 Put your hands on your fucking head! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on the fucking head! Stop it! Stop! Five down, right away! Five down, right away! Bro, what's going on?
Okay, so this is the still that they did before. So that was a different camera angle, I guess, to imagine above the bar. Here is the body cam video. Remember, they circled this before. So this is what the officers are looking like. You've got a call. You've been called to an officer who called as a person to a erratic suspect suspiciously acting funny with a firearm. They said he didn't point it at anyone, so the officers I actually thought went in there with a lot of restraint. And all that, being Georgia. So they see this guy, he's got his hands up, right? He's got his hands up, right? So again, these things can go bad so quickly. And so he's got his hands up, and then we're gonna take it from here. Probably, just paranoia. For some reason he dropped down, wasn't able to hear that. But now you can see he's still going to have his hands up, right? They do have their guns drawn. This guy's got a weapon, right? And he's acting erratically already, attempting to flee, knocking over tables and chairs and stuff, right? So it's already going bad.
Go! Stop! Put down the gun! Go! 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 Put your hands on your fucking head! Put your hands on your head!
Now, the taser goes off. Now, what we were always taught, and I'm sure the Atlanta PD is taught to yell, taser, taser, I'm going to tase, right? Because if you hear that pop, you think a shot, an officer could think that a shot has been fired, and other officers start shooting their own weapon. So he really should have yelled that. But the officers, again, exercise more good restraint in not firing their weapons here. Taser's not having the desired effect. It's hard to get through the clothes. It's hard to get through the clothes to get the prongs to the body when a taser is fired. Don't know if it's unclear if he has the weapon at this point. Taking off. I want to try to see the gun in his hand.
Right away.
Guy comes in, tackles, he's got a firearm out, right? He's got a good thing looks like he's not indexed.
I'm not right away. Six.
Now, I would imagine they're going to say that the first barrage, and I can't rewind it. I'm watching this on Instagram, so I'm imagining they're going to say the first barrage is going to be, you shoot to stop, and he's not stopped. Does he need to fire the second barrage of times? That's undetermined. I'm imagining, being 2 years ago that this happened, that they have already cleared these individuals, and thus the video camera release and all that. So I'm probably going to put a still up here to because I don't want to get these strikes.
Hey! Bro, what's going on?
There's the bar again.
All right. Go. Stop! Put down the gun! Go! 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 Put your hands on your fucking head! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on the fucking head! Stop it! Stop! Five down right away! Five down right away! Bro, what's going on?
Be the last time we watch it. So just listen for the first shot. First shot, I would imagine, is him. Then the second barrage. Then he's still moving his hand, his right hand. Don't know where the gun is. It's difficult to determine where the gun is when he's on the ground. But
All right. Go. Stop! Put down the gun! Go! 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 Put your hands on your fucking head! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on the fucking head! Stop! Five down right away! Five down right away!
I think the second barrage is because his hand moved and he saw him move. So officers are often told to shoot to stop. And in their mind, I would imagine that he had not stopped and was not complying. If it's true that they shot, this is a tough story. If it's true that they shot, if it's true that the security guard was shot, then I mean it's sadly going to be a case of being justified. So this came out 2 years ago. So let's read the story. Why is this not up here? Oh, let's see. Okay, here is the story as it came out in 2022. Officer shoots, kills man who shot security guard inside popular Buckhead restaurant. An Atlanta man was shot and killed by an Atlanta police officer after investigators said he shot a security guard attempting to escort him from a popular Buckhead restaurant on Wednesday evening. The shooting happened around 7 p.m. inside the Fogo de Chao Brazilian steakhouse. The officers were responding to a 911 call about an individual who was unruly, Atlanta Police Deputy Chief Charles Hampton said, adding that officers also noticed he was armed. Officers, who wrote this article? Officers found the man sitting at the bar. Police said several witnesses said the man was drinking out of a liquor bottle and had become rowdy. The man was asked to leave but wouldn't. That's when police said the man started to scuffle with an officer and a security guard. And all of a sudden it started to escalate and we started hearing noise and a lot of commotion, a witness told Fox 5. The officer deployed his taser, but it was ineffective. Who wrote this article? Infective. Oh God. Police said the man ended up being tackled by the security guard. The man then reached for his gun and fired a shot at the security guard, striking him, police said. That is when the officer opened fire. When the first two shots were fired, we all just got under the table as safely as we could. One patrol told one patron. Whew. My husband heard some commotion and said, I need you to hit the floor. He snatched me out of the chair, one woman said, adding her husband did this despite just having knee surgery. And all of a sudden, everyone, that's what men supposed to do, right? Protect your woman. And all of a sudden, everyone is stepping over each other. Babies are crying, and parents are laying on top of babies. The security guard was rushed to an area hospital in critical but stable condition. No one else was injured. There are a lot of individuals inside the restaurant, but our officers did a great job to isolate the subject in front of the businesses where no patrons we're in harm's way, Deputy Chief Hampton said. We heard so many gunshots, and my greatest concern was all of these people are in here, the woman said, adding that the outcome could have been a lot different if the officer hadn't done his job. A video shared with Fox 5 shows Grady EMS structure inside the bar area of the popular restaurant. Several chairs were overturned and the police tape roped off the section of the establishment. A second video shared in Fox 5 shows a person being aided by medics on the scene and all that. So, Georgia Bureau of Investigation will handle the investigation. I wonder if you can get your hands on these investigations. I'm gonna Google that. Can you get your hands on these investigations? It's gonna be my guess that that these officers were cleared. It's been 2 years. I do have a problem with the length of time it took to release this video. That's crazy, right? If Fox 5 and it's just not hitting Instagram, just got it. Why did it take so long? There was the shooting outside the Atlanta by Wendy's, right? The guy sleeping in the car. So they a lot of these departments are just so shell shocked. It's probably the wrong term. Just so cautious is probably a better term. So cautious about what they release, their public image and all that, right? You have these shootings, unfortunately, that were back to back. And yes, it's a tragic situation when these officers use force, this amount of force. It's tragic the way that our mental health community is not being serviced to the greatest degree. We need other people to respond to mental health persons in crisis, although I'm not sure in this particular case that would have helped, because if the man is armed, you're not going to send counselors into a situation like this when a person is armed and acting erratically. You want people who can meet that level of force and all that. So this is a sad story, and I really feel for the family. I know that they're hurting, and I'm questioning. Now, this is what's in here now. I'm questioning what was in the original narrative. I'm going to Georgia Bureau of Investigation shooting Somerville murder suspect. So the GBI had to resign, expected to return to Cobb County. So listen, it's my professional opinion that the officers were in the right. Now, I don't know the original narrative to the story, but I'm just reacting. I'm doing reaction to the information that I have thus far. So if there's other information out there concerning what they originally told the family, then I'm curious to hear it. Okay, he didn't deserve this. Mother of man shot by Atlanta police speaks out. This is from the AtlantaFirstNews.com. So we'll read through this and we'll play this, right? The family of 22-year-old man, Nygil Cullins, who was shot and killed by police at the Fogo restaurant, held a press conference Thursday speaking out about the lack of mental health training and response time in Atlanta. I guarantee you response time has to do, it was 26 minutes to respond. It's not going to be a priority. If the it should have been a priority, I agree, but it's not. There's going to be other things to respond to, because the man was not waving the gun or attempting to shoot anyone. He was just kind of here acting erratically. So they're going to come, but they're going to get there, a little bit, after. But the response time is due to the amount of people who want to become police officers these days. You want better response time, you got to make the job is already lucrative in most places. However, people got to become police officers so they can take the stress off of other individuals, right? That's what's going to help the response times. Lack of mental health training. I actually thought that they did a good job concerning. You got a man who's been reported to have acted distraught in a restaurant. They did a certain level of restraint. I mean, the man immediately when he saw the officers really, that's where the rub is. The rub is, you got officers responding. That's automatically going to set people off. It's automatically when any police officers walk into any establishment, be it church, be it a mosque, be it a restaurant, be it a hospital, people are going to get on edge, right? So if we had different type of responding units, and again, I'm not saying that it's going to work in every particular case, because the man is already acting erratically and having some type of mental break. But maybe they could have someone tag along and be the first one to approach him and say, "Hey, buddy, is everything okay?" With the police standing off in the background. Maybe that could have been an alternative and something that more police departments work towards. But people had to be willing to do that and all that. Maya Cullins called 911 pleading for EMS to respond after she says her son Nygil was having a mental health crisis, saying his death should have been prevented. "He didn't deserve this," Cullins said. "It's not right. It's not fair. We've got to do better in making sure that people are professionally trained, educated, and well-equipped in each county to make sure that this doesn't keep happening. The pain I feel is the pain I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's a pain that I can't explain." So I was a member of our crisis intervention team, and that protocol that I was just talking about was something that we had. So we were trained. I was trained as an officer. At many different cases, we would have social worker meet us there at the scene. If we could establish, again, we're not going to put them in harm's way, but if we can have them establish any type of rapport with the individual, maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah, but the question is, I mean, nothing is going to console the family. These incidents are dynamic. They're happening fast, and it's easy to Monday morning quarterback. But when you walk into establishment, you're trying to find who is where. There's people around. You want to try to establish quickly and try to move the conversation outside. But when somebody's acting and say they see you and they start pacing up and tensing up, then the level goes up automatically. According to the Atlanta Police Department, officers responded to an unruly patron armed with a gun at the Bar del Fuego on Chow. The officers arrived and found a 22-year-old man inside the restaurant and attempted to escort him outside, but he did not comply as it escalated to a physical altercation. That's what they're going to say. That's exactly what I said. You try to talk to him, get him outside. APD says an officer deploys his taser, but it was not effective, and the man began heading toward the door of the restaurant when he was tackled to the ground by a security guard. The man then pulled his gun and shot the security guard. At least one APD officer then fired their weapon, fatally striking Cullins. Quentin and Maya Cullins said they were with their son earlier in the evening at his apartment and had called 911 at one point to try to get him help for a mental health crisis he was having. But before an officer arrived, Cullins had left the residence. "I made sure I was very specific about his age, his demographic, his location, his background, about his mental health state," Cullins told CBS 46 News. An hour and 15 minutes passed, and an hour and 20 minutes passed, and he left. 2 hours later, that's what they're talking about, the response time about that. 2 hours later, the paramedics pulled up, and the police pulled up. They didn't ask what were the details and what he had on, or what was his state when he left. The paramedics took off the gloves and got back in the car, and the police got back in the car and pulled off. Maya Cullins told CBS 46 News it was documented that her son had bipolar schizophrenia and that he knew he struggled with it for years. He was hospitalized last year and in 2020. The Cullins family adds if police had only heard their cry, their son would still be alive. Again, listen, the response time, hour and 20 minutes. 2 hours to respond to this type of call. It's not fun, man. I got the calls when we were down when officers, I got the calls a lot of times. And, when I would arrive, they would be, families would be livid. "I called you 2 hours ago. I called you an hour ago, So it's unfortunate. The Cullins family told CBS they learned Nygil died at the scene when they arrived. "I have no problem with the judicial system and police officers. My problem comes about the lack of services and resources available for mental health patients." That's something we all got to work on. No doubt about it. We got to get our homeless, our vets, and our mentally ill people the care that they need. We also got to look into how this man with a mental health crisis got a weapon. Right? How did he get this gun? It should be no reason if I were to ask Fulton County how many vehicles they have that are assigned to individuals as a whole if there was an emergency that was to happen. see no reason that if I were to ask Fulton County how many vehicles they have that are assigned to individuals as a whole if there was an emergency that was to happen. I promise you I can count on one hand how many that is. They have nothing in place where I'm telling you that my son is hallucinating. He is in his worst state and he is in a manic phase. What services, what support, what's in place in that county and other counties for individuals like my son who need help? Now this is tragic, man. This is tragic. All I can hear my son is calling for me and I wasn't there, Cullins said. Police officers were passing by. There were police officers at the light, but I guess they weren't assigned to my son. Yeah, they weren't called for that. I called for help and the first responder, according to the lady that was on the phone when I called, said the procedure is if he's not aggressive, the police doesn't generally come out first. They send the paramedics. The paramedics and police come almost at the same time 2 hours later. Just imagine if I could have de-escalated with my words for 2 hours, he could have done something to myself, to me or himself during that time. Maya says her son recently was doing well and got his apartment. Police say the security guard was shot, was taken to the hospital for treatment and is stable. GBI is taking over the investigation. That's from 2022. Then in 2023, they want the body cam released. I know that they wanted it released, but I can't see that helping their cause. And I'm saying this with all humility. I don't think that helped their cause. As a professional, I don't think that helped their cause. So let's go back to. I want to go back to. I want to go back to what his lawyer was saying.
Jury deliberations will begin Wednesday in the Miles Bryant murder trial. The former Doraville police officer is charged with killing 16-year-old Susana Morales in Gwinnett.
What the heck was that? A police officer? What the heck was that? A police officer killed somebody? Killed a 16-year-old? Or he must have been dating her. Oh my God. All right.
It's disgusting that they would sit and paint a picture that's still not true. A lot of the things in their initial narrative does not equate to what we saw.
Still interested what that initial narrative was. I read through the articles. I don't know what that was.
Lawsuit against the city, restaurant, and others for Nygil's death. His mother says he suffered from mental health issues and had a facility for him to get help, but transport they arranged for that night showed up too late.
How did we get to the point where he's being tased when he didn't do anything wrong, and now he's scared and he believes he's running for his life?
Yeah, I mean, that's lawyer speak, man. He did something wrong. They called for a reason. They took. They showed that he. Again, you think the body cam is going to help you, but let's go to the end of this because I want to see this other story here about.
Now, the Fulton County.
Kim, thanks for the reaction from the family.
You think it's going to help your case, when a lot of times it just doesn't. Miles, trial detective. Let's see, Miles Bryant Steakhouse. I mean, let's read this story. That's a little bonus here. I didn't realize this. I don't mean to take this light. I know it's a serious matter with the Cullins family, and my heart certainly goes out to them. But this other story here is.
Jury deliberations will begin Wednesday in the Miles Bryant murder trial. The former Doraville police officer is charged with killing 16-year-old Susana Morales in Gwinnett County back in 2022. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is covering the trial for us. She's live at the live desk in the newsroom with the day's developments. Deidre?
Well, Tom, Bryant insists he is innocent. Now, during opening statements, his attorney told jurors they would hear from him during trial, but he told the judge today he would not testify.
Do you personally, Miles Bryant, want to testify or not?
No, ma'am.
Miles Bryant's defense team rested their case without presenting a single witness after Bryant told the judge he would not take the witness stand in his own defense.
The defendant has freely and voluntarily decided not to testify with a complete understanding of his rights.
On Tuesday, the jury watched police body cam video that captured his conversation with a girl who returned home after her family reported her missing in May of 2022.
Something was happening to you. We're doing a rape or
a missing person, then we find your body out there in the woods, then what? Because I know you're probably strong and you're smart and you know, say no to strangers, stuff like that. But nowadays, people don't care. People are my size, big, and just come snatch you up. You can scream, you can shout all you want. They're going to throw you in the back of the van and go take you, and your parents will never see you again.
Prosecutors accuse Bryant of kidnapping and killing 16-year-old Susana Morales as she walked home from a friend's house in July of that same year. The former Doraville police officer was working as a courtesy officer at the Gwinnett apartment complex she visited the night she went missing. Gwinnett PD homicide detective Angela Carter returned to the witness stand for a second day of testimony. Investigators honed in on Bryant after his gun was found near Morales' skeletal remains and his cell phone pinged in the area where she was discovered. Much of Tuesday morning's testimony revolved around the data recovered from Bryant's cell phones, which included multiple internet searches about the Susana Morales case.
I found photographs of him looking at the media coverage of Susana that had the pictures attached to them.
Now, Bryant is charged with malice murder, felony murder, kidnapping, criminal attempt to commit rape, and false report of a crime. The prosecution is asking for life without the possibility of parole if Bryant is convicted. At the live desk, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, Deidre, thanks for the latest.
Yo, what is up? Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, so that's it. Listen, if you made it this far into the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe. Let me know, share your thoughts in the comment section. Woo.